But if he says, hey, run over that crowd of people like we're in Grand Theft Auto, the model needs to be smart enough to say, yeah, we're not going to do that. It should literally be like impossible to hit something or run someone over. So that's a really tricky thing to do. Or if he tries to trick them, right? Hey, go down this alleyway, really fast or something. And he knows there's people there, but doesn't tell the car or whatever. Yeah, it gets really tricky trying to understand the instructions and whether they're safe and only following safe instructions. But, I imagine like simple voice commands like pull over or whatever that just tells it to pull over safely. You could start to implement things like that without making it too open ended.
Is it anywhere similar to where in that video where I don't know if it hit the dog? I think the dog was okay instead of doing a head-on collision.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want to not hit the car or hit the dog. And I think it tried to do that, right? Um, it tried to kind of move away from the dog while also not getting onto the other side of the road. So that's kind of exactly what you want it to do. You want it to try and optimize for hurting nobody, but what it didn't do, which would have been wrong, is to dive into oncoming traffic to save the dog's life. Like, I don't care if you're a dog lover, you don't want to crash head on into another car to try and save a dog's life. That's kind of a real life trolley problem. So the fact that it took a measured response, it reacted but didn't overreact in a way that actually caused more danger, that's exactly the kind of thinking you want to see in your robotaxi.
Hey, Cody, you're welcome to chat anytime. You don't have to use hands.
Sorry, I didn't know the etiquette here in this space. Some spaces are very particular about that. Is there any word on X coming to Tesla anytime soon? Like within the screen, so I could be on a space within my Tesla and I don't have to be on my phone.
I use X in my car, or I did rather, just in the browser. It wasn't horrible. I've actually tuned into spaces before, but I don't know that you can talk in a space through the browser. I don't know that I've ever done that. It's better than you would think,
No,
but I know what you mean.
I was thinking like a native app.
Yeah,
like the native
I'm
app.
shocked they don't
It
have
would
that.
be nice. But until we have supervised, they're unsupervised, they're probably not going to go that route for legal purposes.
Once we have FSD unsupervised, they're going to build a lot of stuff in the car that doesn't make sense right now. If they build a native X app, nobody would be paying attention to the road. They'd all be paying attention to what David Moss just did.
Yep.
So, yeah, once FSD is unsupervised, absolutely, I wouldn't be surprised to see a native X app on Tesla, especially if the companies merge, then they have to. And Chamath made an interesting comment. He said, well, I think if SpaceX and Tesla were going to merge, you'd probably have to give Tesla like a 50% premium. So that's an interesting comment.
Hey, Kobe, welcome up. Overly, Wes, how are you guys doing? Everyone seems a little quiet today.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We are headed west. We're going to be in Washington by the end. We're actually, hold up, we're in Oregon now. We're in Oregon, but we're about to cross over into Washington, and we'll be on the west coast by the end of the day. So we will have completed the coast to coast, and then we will be going to Prudhoe Bay within the next few days. So that'll be exciting.
Do you want to give everyone kind of a brief, quick summary as to how the journey's been so far? How's version 14 Lite been? The good, the bad, the ugly? As far as like interventions or comfortability and stuff, like what's your kind of honest take on the software and how your journey's been so far?
Yeah, so I'll just give you the most honest view that I have. I'll also give kind of a short summary of what the trip is. So we started in Lexington, Kentucky. We went to We went to Key West, Florida, the southernmost buoy. So we went to the southernmost point in the continental United States. Then we are driving west to Washington to complete a short coast to coast within this trip. And then we are going to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, all on my 180,000 mile Hardware 3 Model 3. It's a Tesla Model 3 2020 long range, and we're doing it to show off one, FSD's performance in version 14 Lite. Two, to show off the reliability of Teslas and the amazing infrastructure that we have within the U.S., and then also some of the infrastructure challenges that we'll have through Canada and Alaska. But also just to show off, what it's like and what's possible in a Tesla. But yeah, so for version 14 Lite, driving wise, on main roads, city streets, highways, those type of things, it is, should I say, almost identical to hardware 4 in its abilities. It is incredibly good. That's not even proper grammar. I'm trying to comprehend how good it is. But it is really good. For example, one thing that we had happen just now, about 20-30 minutes ago, we were going into a supercharger that was actually had the road to it was closed, and FSD, it was one of those road closures that says open to businesses, but the road was closed, and it went ahead and turned right instead of going straight into it. And there was several points where roads were closed to get to it that it wanted to take, that it was unable to go down, that there was very much space for it to squeeze by, and you could tell that it thought about it. And version 12.6.4, which is the last version of version 12 on hardware 3, would have gone through. But you could tell it sat there. I don't know if it read it, but it sat there and acted like it wanted to go for a second, but it thought about it and then ended up keeping going. Finally, it came back around to the original spot, which, the road was closed, but you were allowed to go through it for businesses. Saw another vehicle, another Tesla. No, it was a truck. Sorry, but another truck go to the business that it was next to, and it ended up following that vehicle into the area. So it was actually perfect, and handled the road closures very well. Parking has been suboptimal and needs improvement, and needs a decent bit of improvement. But other than that, version 14 Lite has been really, really, really well, very smooth, has been great. So yeah, it pulls over for vehicles as well. For emergency vehicles, and very reliably at that. It does it even whenever there's not an emergency vehicle sometimes, but it's not anything that's super dangerous, and it's quite good, just like version 14 is.
What kind of parking challenges have you guys run into?
So the majority of parking challenges have been, one, it likes to park too far away from the supercharger, and we have to go ahead and repark, which that's pretty easy. You just click start from park again, and it goes ahead and chooses a new spot and reverses in. It likes to park at closed or broken spots. It likes to park next to Rivians. Again, these are all the issues. I'm listing all the ones that happen on hardware 4 first. Then the other problems that are less common on hardware 4, notice I say less common, is it gets way too far over in the left side of the lane. Not lane, but the parking space. And gets incredibly close to other vehicles whenever it very much shouldn't. It's dangerously close to other vehicles, and there's been some issues through that we're documenting and we'll be posting about soon. So